Hello everybody and welcome into another late night strat, hashtag late night strat stream. I'm Craig, your host, here on the RNGIDP channel. Welcome to the show, welcome to the game today. We continue in game day 13. And today we'll have a really good matchup. The Alola League leading Texas Diggersby at 8-3 are traveling to Minnesota to face the Zweilous and who are 5-6. Minnesota sits in 9th place in the AL and looking to make up some ground on the league leader, Texas Diggersby. Welcome in. I'm happy you're here. Happy to have your support and have you watching this. I still can't believe that people are actually tuning in, actually appreciating the league setup and the way this thing is has turned out, and the recent attention that it's drawn. I'm blown away. So I just have to say thank you for all that, and thank you for all the likes and subs and everything you guys are doing out there. It really makes me feel like I'm not just sitting in a closet playing a game by myself. Well, so thank you for being here. All right, so today we'll get on with it. After my lousy Broncos blew another Sunday. I think that's 8 in a row we've lost now. So Sunday had a rough start, but we're hoping that this night game will help us out and entertain us all. So Jose Quintana will be the pitcher for Minnesota. Jose Quintana comes into this game having pitched 11 1/3 innings. He's got 2 losses, 0-2 so far. Hasn't really pitched terribly. He's given up 14 hits in those 11 1/3 innings, given up 5 earned runs, 13 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. So he's got a good K to walk ratio. His ERA is about 4, 3.98. His WHIP is of 1 1/3, and he will be facing the Texas Diggersby. Texas Diggersby will line up like this, but before I get there, Minnesota had game day 12 off and are coming off of a 2-game losing streak. So they had a day to think about the 2-game losing streak, and they will face now the Texas Diggersby, who in their last game in game day 12, they beat Oakland 5-2. Oakland is one of the league leaders, and that was a matchup of 2 pretty good teams, and Texas came out up on top on the road in Oakland 5-2, and now they've won 3 in a row, and with those 3 wins have jumped Boston, jumped Seattle, jumped Oakland, jumped Houston, jumped Baltimore for the league lead on their own at 8-3. So Texas is looking to stretch that lead out a bit, and they will line up like this against the left-hander, Jose Quintana. First up, the leadoff man will be the center fielder, A.J. Pollock. A.J. Pollock has hit .306, 15 hits for him, 7 doubles. That by far leads the league and is amongst the league leaders. I believe, yes, he is tied for the league lead in doubles with 7. He's got a triple, a homer, 5 driven in, 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, and leads the team with 3 stolen bases as well. He's got a AA steal rating. Francisco Lindor will hit short, be the shortstop and hit second. Lindor is hitting .326 with a double, a triple, a homer, and 5 driven in himself. 2 stolen bases for him. So pretty good table setters for the big boys behind him. That'll be Eric Hosmer, the lefty, and hitting third and playing first base. Eric Hosmer hitting .289, 2 doubles, 2 triples. No home runs yet for Eric Hosmer. Only 4 driven in, too. So they're setting the table, but he's not really bringing them in. Ryan Rayburn will be the DH today with the lefty Jose Quintana on the mound. Rayburn is a lefty killer. Look at those numbers in the 1 column. He is 6 for 28 in part-time duty this year. Only a double and no triples, no home runs. So as much as I say he's a lefty killer, he really hasn't proven that. Only 3 driven in. Ben Zobrist, the switch-hitting third baseman, will be hitting 5th. Ben Zobrist hitting .375 so far, so hitting pretty well. 5 doubles, a triple, and a homer for him. And behind him will be Miguel Montero, the left-handed hitting catcher, in the 6th spot. He's hitting .222, 8 for 36. No double, or 1 double, no triples, no homers, only 2 driven in. 10 strikeouts for him, too. Jake Marisnik will be the left fielder, and he's batting 7th. He's a right-hander. Marisnik, he's hitting .343, surprisingly. That number is a little high for what his card probably is. 4 homers and 9 driven in as well. Kevin Kiermaier is the right fielder and hitting left. He's hitting .375, so the bottom of the order is getting it done for Texas here. Kevin Kiermaier, .375, a double, 2 triples, 3 home runs, and 11 driven in. So Kevin Kiermaier has the team lead in runs batted in, and he's hitting 8th. Addison Russell is the second baseman. He's hitting 9th. Addison Russell, .297. His average has gone up quite a bit recently. He's got a homer and 10 RBIs. So he's driven in quite a few runs himself from the bottom spot. We'll get to the defense and line up for Minnesota in the bottom half. But for now, I think we're ready to roll. I just watched part of Tabletop Earl's Philly Strat-O-Matic replay. While I was getting set up here, I'm going to go ahead and watch the rest of that later after I'm done with this game. But he was commiserating, not commiserating, what's the right word? He was sad about his Buffalo Bills losing and mentioning that they don't have a quarterback. And, well, I think my Broncos are in the same spot. We've been lumbering through trying to make do with the defense and just have no quarterback. So I feel his pain. I feel your pain, Earl, if you're watching this. I feel your pain, the lack of quarterback on your team. All right, so let's get underway. Jose Quintana against A.J. Pollock. The lefty against the righty. And we are underway here from Minnesota. Game Day 13, RNGIDP. And this one is a 2-8. 2-8. That one's a fly ball out to center field. The center fielder, Jason Burgess, is under it. And he makes the grab. So, the speedy A.J. Pollock is off the bases. And Francisco Lindor now steps up. This is a 5-5 for the right-handed batting Francisco Lindor. And this one is hit pretty well. Lindor is a normal power, so it's got a chance to get out of here. 1-3, and it will. It's a 15, so just maybe it hits the wall and kicks back, and he is standing at double with a stand-up double. Standing at second with a stand-up double. So Francisco Lindor gets the party started here. And now Eric Hosmer looking to drive him home. The lefty against the lefty Quintana. This is a 2-8. A 2-8, and he loses him, so he walks Hosmer behind the double from Lindor, and now there's trouble. 1 out, and Ryan Rayburn is the batter with 2 men aboard. And Ryan Rayburn, like I said, he's got some pop against lefties. This is a 5-10. The 5-10 is going to be a fly ball out to right field. Right field B with no question mark. So they could try and send him to third. So let's see here. This is a fly ball to right field. That we know that's an out. The right fielder is Cole Calhoun. And he's a -4 arm. So he's got a gun out there and right. Will Lindor test him? He's a 1-15. So let's stat that out. It'll be a 1-15 plus arm strength, so it's a 1-11 plus 2. So it's a 1-13, and he'll be safe. A 14-19, and he's not going anywhere. And a 20, he'll be out. So it's a 2, so Francisco Lindor tags up from second, moves to third on the fly out from Ryan Rayburn. So now men at the corners, and Ben Zobrist. Ben Zobrist is the batter with 2 down, looking to drive in Lindor from third and even Hosmer from first. So this is a 6 against the switch hitting Zobrist, who's hitting right-handed. This will be, this one looks good, and maybe in the gap. A 1-14, and it is, and it's a 16, so it's a 2-star single. And that will bring home Lindor from third easily. And Hosmer, who was off with the pitch with 2 outs, is able to make it to third. And runners on the corners again, and that's an RBI for Ben Zobrist. And Texas continues their torrid pace here and now lead the game 1-0. It wouldn't surprise me if Texas wins this one. The way they've been batting, the way they've been pitching. Texas, if I get my league leaders here, actually I can look on the screen. Texas, they lead the league in both team earned run average 2.9 and team whip at just under 1 at 0.97. So they are really good at pitching, and they haven't even had a chance to do so today, and they're going to have a lead. So Miguel Montero with 2 outs and men on the corners. This will be a 6-8 against the lefty, and that one's a fly ball out to Burgess in center field. He camps under it and makes the 3rd out. So there could have been some more damage done. Quintana holds him to just 1 run, and you'd have to say that's a win with that many runners on base. So Kyle Hendricks will be the pitcher for the home Minnesota Zweilis. Kyle Hendricks, he comes into the game with, let me get his stats up here. Kyle Hendricks is 1-1, having pitched 16 innings, giving up 10 hits, only 1 earned run in those 16 innings, and he's got a loss. So yeah, he must have been in a pitcher's duel. I can't quite remember what game that was. He's got 15 strikeouts and 2 walks. So he's been pretty effective. That's a .56 ERA. Yeah, .56 ERA, and Kyle Hendricks is the league leader in ERA in the AL. And that equates to a .75 whip as well. So Hendricks has been pitching really well, and this is how they will bat against him, the Texas Diggersby. Excuse me, Minnesota. Wait a minute. No, Kyle Hendricks is pitching for Texas. I said Minnesota. And this is how Minnesota will line up against them. I got myself confused there for a second. All right, so Minnesota will line up with Miguel Cabrera. Yes, Miguel Cabrera is batting leadoff for this Minnesota squad. And when I was going through the lineups, making them, I couldn't figure out any other way to do it. So Miguel Cabrera, even with his 1-10 running, his E stealing, he's going to be the man to lead off. And it's been working pretty well. I made the change probably 5 games into the season. Minnesota they had Echeverria at the top of the order, and he just wasn't getting it done. So I thought, Minnesota's manager is going to be bold and put Cabrera up top, and they've been hitting a lot better since. So Miguel Cabrera has his average up to 300, 15 for 50, 7 doubles. So yeah, he's tied for the league lead with 7 doubles. No triples, no home runs, and only 1 RBI. So he's getting on base, and others are having to drive him in. Matt Carpenter is the second baseman, the left-handed hitter. He will be in the 2-hole. Matt Carpenter is hitting .222 with 3 doubles, 3 homers, and 8 driven in. Nolan Arenado, my man, Nolan Arenado is in the 3-hole, playing third base. And Arenado seems to have a knack for not coming up big in this series. So he's hitting .269, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 8 driven in. 11 strikeouts and not 1 walk yet. He's going up there hacking. David Murphy is the left fielder and batting cleanup, the lefty. They're going lefty strong in this lineup. David Murphy is hitting .362, a double, a triple, 4 home runs, and 7 driven in. Prince Fielder is the DH. Prince Fielder is hitting .349. He is hitting .349, only 1 homer, 6 driven in. Cole Calhoun is the right fielder. And Cole Calhoun, we saw him out in the field. He's hitting .268 with 4 homers, 9 driven in. He's got the team lead with 9 driven in. And Jonathan Lucroy will hit 7th, the catcher. He's hitting .175, only 1 double, and that's the only extra base hit he has, only 2 driven in too. Echeverria has thrived in that 8 spot and lower in the order. He's hitting 370 now with 2 doubles. So down in the order seems to work best for him. And Jason Burgess is the center fielder, mostly out there for his defense. He's hitting 7 for 24 on the season. Does have a homer, though, and 2 RBI. All right, I think we're ready for the bottom of the first. And Kyle Hendricks will face Miguel Cabrera. This is the 2015 roster set that I'm using from Strat-O-Matic Baseball in the RNL here, the RNGIDP channel. And this is a 1-8 and a 1-8, and Miguel Cabrera stays hot. There's a single to lead it off. And he's aboard for the lefty, Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter steps in from the left side against Kyle Hendricks. And it's a 5-3, a 5-3. Oh, no, this is a chance for a home run. A ballpark chance, a 1-7. And it's hit, and look at that one fly. It is over the wall and gone. So all that mention about how Kyle Hendricks has been dominant so far this year. And 2 men on and 2 men gone. It is a home run for Matt Carpenter. And this game is now a game 2-1. Minnesota coming back here in the bottom half of the first. Not going to give up to Texas that easily. Minnesota has a better squad than their 5-6 record would indicate. And here's Nolan Arenado with nobody aboard. It's a 1-6, and a 1-6 is a ground out to shortstop. And that'll be the first out of the inning. So Hendricks gets his man in Arenado, and David Murphy is now the batter. It's a 5-2. A 5-2 is a grounder out to the second baseman. That's Addison Russell. Addison Russell, not as great of a card defensively as he is in some seasons, but he's a 2 second baseman. He's a 2 second baseman. We rolled a 6, and that'll do it. So he gets his man. That's a 4-3 putout. And now the man will be Prince Fielder. So Hendricks upset with himself after a leadoff single and then a homer for Matt Carpenter. And he's working quickly and angrily now. This is a 3-6. A 3-6, that's going to be a single for Prince Fielder. That 3 column for Prince is full of singles. Now Cole Calhoun, another lefty, against the righty Kyle Hendricks. It's a 2-10, a 2-10. This is a chance to be a single, 1-12, and it's a 17. Not going to be this time. That's a line out to the second baseman, Addison Russell. So that'll be it for this inning, but it started with a bang with a leadoff single from Miguel Cabrera and a homer from Matt Carpenter. And Minnesota takes the lead 2-1 going here to the second. Just underway from Minnesota. Nice day out there. Clear conditions. The ball is flying, if you notice. Flying out there. And Jose Quintana will now pitch to Jake Marisnick. Jake Marisnick, the left fielder, hitting 7th. This is a 5-7. 5-7, and Quintana strikes him out. That's the first strikeout for Quintana. And now Kevin Kiermaier with his impressive batting average is up there. This is a 6-8. A 6-8 will be a fly ball out to center field. The center fielder, Pollock, cruising. And, no, Pollock is our center fielder. The center fielder is Burgess, is cruising out there. He's quick, too, and makes the play. Addison Russell, 2 men out quickly here in the top of the second. And he deals with Quintana, the lefty, a 4-11. This is a fly ball to left field, and that's David Murphy. David Murphy is a 3-range left fielder, and so we'll go to the chart. A 310 is going to his E rating. He's an E3, so he's a pretty good fielder. That's a 4. E3 and a 4. He makes a dive for it, but can't come up with the ball. It scoots past his glove, and this one's going to roll. The center fielder, Burgess, is backing him up, but not before Addison Russell can make it all the way to second. And that's a two-base error that gets Addison Russell all the way to second. So David Murphy commits the error. Let me write that down. And now A.J. Pollock has a chance to drive home a run here from second. This is a 4-7, a 4-7. Oh, this one could be a single, a 1-17, and it is a 16. Oh, no, that's an 18. Oh, no, the third baseman. Oh, you know who it is. It's Nolan Arenado, and you're not getting it past him. Nolan Arenado makes a spectacular play, able to take a single, a hit away from A.J. Pollock, and he throws his helmet in disgust as he thought he had a single and maybe an RBI. But that will end the top half of the second. And the great play from Nolan Arenado saves a run for Jose Quintana. Kyle Hendricks makes his way out to the mound, and he will have Lucroy, Echeverria, and Jason Burgess, the expected batters, 7, 8, 9. And the righty, Lucroy, this is a 3-8. A 3-8. That's a solid single out into left field. A leadoff single for the catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. His beard looking immaculate as always as he runs down to first base. Aidani Echeverria, the shortstop, hitting 8th here. He's a B bunter, a C hit and runner. They're just going to let him hit. It's a 3-9, a 3-9. Oh, this one could be good. A 1-11, it's a triple, and it's a 15, so able to cut it off before it gets to the wall as the center fielder Pollock using his speed, and this will be only a single. But Lucroy read it pretty well, and he manages to make it to third. And now you've got runners on the corners with nobody out. And the speedy Jason Burgess up to plate. The defense is going to play back, trying to get the double play. They'll give up a run to get the double play early in the game here. 2-8, a 2-8. This one's a ground ball to the pitcher. He wheels and fires. He wheels and fires to Russell. Over to first to Hosmer, but not in time. Jason Burgess using his speed and is able to pick up an RBI on the ground out. So Burgess gets an RBI. Lucroy scores from third. And there's 3-1 now. Minnesota giving it to the Texas Diggersby at this point. And now Burgess is on base. Burgess, let's look at his steal rating. C stealer, which is, that means probably he didn't run very much because he's a 1-15 runner. But let's look at Miguel Montero's arm. It's a +1 arm. So if he's a C stealer, they are holding him at first with nobody else on. So it will be a 1-11 -3, so 1-8. So +1 is a 1-9 if he decided to try and run. He's not going to do so. Miguel Cabrera is hot behind him. And this is a 4-12. This was the ground ball to the pitcher. Hendricks is a 2-ranged pitcher, a 216. That's going to his E rating. He's an E0, which is going to be a ground ball back to Hendricks, who fires it again over to Russell and back to Hosmer this time for the slower runner Cabrera, and it's a 1-4-3 double play. So the slower runner Cabrera can't beat out the throw this time, and that will end the inning. So we're through 2, and Minnesota tacks on another one. It's now 3-1 heading into the third. And Kyle Hendricks isn't as sharp as he has been this season so far through 2 starts. Jose Quintana out-dueling him so far. But Texas has their heart of their order, Lindor, Hosmer, and Rayburn, due up against the lefty Quintana. So a 3-5. There's a single out to left field. Murphy down to one knee, tosses it back to second base, and Lindor is aboard. Lindor, while we're here, is a B stealer. The catcher is Jonathan Lucroy, and he's a +1 as well. So a B stealer, they're holding him. So it'd be a 1 to 10 +1 is 11. With Eric Hosmer up, 1 to 11 chance. They're going to let Hosmer hit. And it's a 2. Probably should have did a hit and run, but a 2-9. A 2-9. Oh, no. This one's hit back to the shortstop, Echeverria, who tosses it to Carpenter and over to Cabrera for the 6-4-3 double play. And as soon as I said we probably should have hit and run, I thought, oh no, this is going to be a double play, and it ended up being so. And Ryan Rayburn now, with nobody on. The base is clear and 2 outs. Ryan Rayburn was hoping for some traffic. And this is a 4-7. This one could be a single, though. 1 to 17, and it is. Now he really wishes he had some traffic aboard, as he's aboard with a solid single off of Jose Quintana. So 2 hits in the inning, and they're not finished yet. 2 down. Ben Zobrist, the switch hitter, stepping in from the right-hand side against Quintana. It's a 2-4. A 2-4. He pops it up on the left-hand side. The third baseman, Arenado, of course, is underneath it, and the sure-handed Arenado makes the play. Oh, that's a foul out, isn't it? A foul out to Arenado, and I wrote down that he threw it to first. But it's a foul out. Let me fix that, or else it's going to drive me nuts. And this will be the end of the top of the third. Texas had 2 hits that inning, but couldn't do anything with them. And they leave Rayburn stranded at first. And now Kyle Hendricks, to the man who took him yard last time up, Matt Carpenter, with a homer in the first. This is a 2-9, and he strikes him out this time. Not going to get a by him again. And that's the first strikeout for Hendricks. You could tell he got a little bit more on that fastball against Carpenter, trying to make a point that he's not going to do that on him again. And Nolan Arenado now. Already made a couple of good plays out in the field. It's a 4-7. A 4-7 is a grounder out to short. Lindor is there and makes a nice strong throw to first, and Hosmer on the bag. And this will be the second out of the inning. And David Murphy now. Last chance here in the third. And this is a 3-12. A 3-12. That one's hit hard, but right at the second baseman. And Russell is able to handle the hot shot. And that'll be the end of the third inning. So we're through 3. It's a 3-1 ball game. Heading to the fourth. Jose Quintana out-dueling Kyle Hendricks up to this point. And Miguel Montero, the lefty catcher, will face the lefty Quintana. And it's a 3-10. A 3-10. Oh, this one's hit pretty well. Out to right field. Calhoun is on his horse. Will he make the play? And he gets there. It's a fly out to right. Nice play. Nice running catch to Calhoun. So Calhoun tosses it in, and now Jake Marisnick struck out his first time at bat in the second. And this is a 1-12, and he strikes out again. So Quintana has his number. He's got 2 strikeouts on the day, and both of them are against the left fielder Marisnick. And Kevin Kiermaier is now the man with 2 outs. This is a 3-7, a 3-7. This one's hit pretty well out to center field. And a 1-5, it's a double. This one's going to be a single. The center fielder, Burgess, able to grab it on a hop. And it's a single with 2 outs here. If you're just joining us, Texas, league leaders Texas, are trailing Minnesota 3-1 here. And with 2 outs in the top of the 4th, Addison Russell steps in with a man aboard and Kevin Kiermaier. This is a 3-6, and Jose Quintana gets him to end the inning with a strikeout. So they leave a man aboard again, and we reach the bottom of the 4th. Texas only able to scratch out 1 run so far against Quintana. And now Prince Fielder, the lefty, singled his last time up, and he is up against Kyle Hendricks. It's a 2-8 and a 2-8. He's going to hit it weakly out to Hendricks, who barely has to make a throw because Prince Fielder is lumbering down the line. But he does anyway, and it's a grounder to the pitcher out to first. Cole Calhoun now. Cole Calhoun, and actually I put that backwards tonight. It's a 1-3. Cole Calhoun made a nice play out in the outfield last half inning. And now he's here at bat. Hit it hard last time, but right at Addison Russell at second. And with with 1 out here against the righty, this is a 5-6, and he strikes out. So that's the 2nd strikeout for Kyle Hendricks. And Jonathan Lucroy. Jonathan Lucroy singled and scored the 3rd run for Minnesota. And this is a 4-8. A 4-8. That one might be a hit. A 1, and it's a double. And that is a single. A 2-star single, but nobody's on base. So Jonathan Lucroy, he's got Hendricks' number now. 2 for 2 against him. And the shortstop, Echeverria. This is where they got to run last time, the bottom of the order. Echeverria singled. Burgess drove him in on a fielder's choice. Let's see if Echeverria can do anything here with 2 down. It's a 5-5. A 5-5 is a double out to the left gap. Lucroy with 2 outs is looking at his third base coach to see if he gets the sign to come home. He's a 1-11 runner. The left fielder is Jake Marisnick, who's a -2. So 11 plus 2 because there's 2 outs, so it's a 13. He wasn't being held, so it's a 14. And -2 is a 12. The catcher, when he's got when that train is rolling, he's not stopping. So it's a 1 to oh no, we rolled a 20, and the catcher trying to score from first gets thrown out pretty easily by Jake Marisnick out in left field, and maybe he should have stopped, but that will end the inning. The 3rd out made it home. Echeverria hit a double, looking to get an extra run. Lucroy ran. He couldn't stop his body from running, and he is thrown out by Marisnick at home. So Hendricks gives his left fielder Marisnick a tip of the cap, appreciative of that throw. And we move to the top of the 5th. It's still a 3-1 ball game. And Jose Quintana now dealing with the top of the order again, and A.J. Pollock. A.J. Pollock can be a menace on the bases if he gets on, but he's 0 for 2 today. And this is a 6-5. A 6-5 is a grounder to the shortstop Echeverria. And he is a 1 range shortstop. A 112 is going to his E rating anyway. And we got a spinning die, so it's a 9, and he's an E12. E12 and a 9, that's going to be enough. Varia makes a diving stop, throws out Pollock, and had to make a nice play there. Speedy Pollock running. Now Francisco Lindor, the shortstop for Texas, league leading Texas. And this is 6'10". 6'10" is a grounder to third baseman. And this defensive team for Minnesota That left side is stellar. Both of them are one ranged. Third base 1 and 19. Oh yeah. Nolan charges on the infield and makes the strong throw to get Lindor. And now it's a quick 2 outs, and Eric Hosmer walked and grounded into a double play so far. And he's up to bat with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. This is a 5-8. A 5-8. This one's to second base now. And so they're going around the horn. And this will be Carpenter who makes the play. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So Texas took a tour of the infield, but couldn't get it past any of them. And now we move to the bottom of the 5th. And Kyle Hendricks will face the speedy Jason Burgess. He's driven in a run for Minnesota with a fielder's choice. And here he is against Hendricks, a 4-6. Not this time. He strikes him out. 3 strikeouts now for Hendricks. And Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, 1 for 2. A single. Was aboard for the Matt Carpenter bomb and grounded into a double play, inning-ending double play. And against the righty, this will be a 2-3. This one's hit to the third baseman. That's Zobrist over there. He makes a fine play, and there are 2 down. Moving along rather quickly. Happy that you're aboard here. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter right here. And I post all the scorecards. I post all the information that you'll need for the league. Ask me questions, whatever you think. This is Kyle Hendricks pitching to Carpenter. He struck him out his last time after hitting a homer off of him. This is a 5-5, a 5-5. Oh boy, Carpenter, who struck out last time, looking to get his revenge. A 1-18, and it's gone. It's a 1, and that is a deep shot and gone. And just mashed that ball and stares at Hendricks as he rounds the bases. And they've got a little battle going on. They've got a little battle, and Hendricks loses this time. And Carpenter with another home run off of the ERA leader before coming into this game, Kyle Hendricks. Well, he's not going to be the ERA leader after this game, thanks to Matt Carpenter, who's driven in 3. Nolan Arenado, after the 2-run homer, or the 2-out homer by Matt Carpenter, and Arenado. And that's a 6-11. 6-11. This one's going to be a grounder back to Hendricks. Let's see if he's shaken and can make the play. It's a 9. Hendricks is a 2-ranged, a 2-9, and that's going to be, he's an E0. So Hendricks is able to make the play. A 1-3 putout. But he hung a pitch, and Carpenter made him pay once again. And adds an insurance run for Minnesota. And now it's 4-1. So Hendricks versus Matt Carpenter, turning out to be a pretty good battle. And here's Ryan Rayburn, who's singled his last time up against the lefty Quintana. It's a 2-9, and he strikes out this time. Quintana feeling pretty good about himself now with a 4-1 lead. And now it'll be Ben Zobrist. Zobrist fouled out to Nolan Arenado and singled in the first. And this is a 3-9. 3-9 looks pretty good. Out into the gap. How far will it roll? And it's going to be a double. So Ben Zobrist is aboard with a 1-out double. And Miguel Montero will look to drive him home. Miguel Montero against the lefty Quintana. It's a 1-5 and a 1-5. He strikes him out. So that's the 5th strikeout for Quintana. And the 2nd out of the inning here in the 5th. If you're wondering, Quintana, his point of weakness is the 5th inning. So any slip-ups here, and They may have to pull him. This is the top of the 6th. I said the 5th, I think. This is the top of the 6th. 2 down now. Man on second. Ben Zobrist on second. And Quintana will pitch to Jake Marisnik, who's already struck out twice today. And this is a 2-5 and a 2-5. Well, he got him a third time. And this time it will end the inning. 6 strikeouts now for Quintana. And he's through 6. Only giving up 1 run, and that was in the first. A double, 1-out double to Lindor. Hosmer walked, and then Ben Zobrist drove him in. Kyle Hendricks, his pitcher inning of weakness is the 5th, so he is susceptible. He will pitch here to David Murphy, or will he? We've got 1, 2, 3 lefties in a row coming up. So let's check out the bullpen for Texas. Texas has 1 left-handed pitcher in the bullpen, and that's the extra starter and reliever, Travis Wood. That's the only lefty. So they're not going to go get him yet. Maybe if they tighten this game up, they'll save Wood for later in the innings. But Hendricks is going to have to pitch out of it here. It's a 3-9. A 3-9 is a grounder back to Hendricks. We know he's a pretty good fielder in his own, and he makes the play. And Prince Fielder now. Fielder 1 for 2 against him. A single and a grounder back to the pitcher. That's a 5-12. A 5-12. Oh boy, this one could be gone. It's hit deep. Will it go? Out to right field. A 1-7 will be a homer, and it was a 6, and that is a home run for Prince Fielder. So Hendricks just doesn't have his stuff today, and Minnesota are jumping all over him. And that's a solo shot for Prince Fielder with 1 out here in the 6th. And now they just might have to go get Kyle Hendricks, even if they don't have a lefty. The problem is they just don't have many options. They have, well, they have options, just not great options. They could go get Yimi Garcia, and I think that's what they're going to do. So Yimi Garcia will be the man to take over for Kyle Hendricks, whose day is over. Didn't see that one coming. And he will come in to face the lefty Calhoun and Jonathan Lucroy behind him with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitching change is being made. The right-hander Yimi Garcia will take over. We'll get you his numbers in a second. But Kyle Hendricks went 5 1/3 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And 5 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 3 batters. And how many did he walk? He walked not a single one. Well, Yimi Garcia will now take over. And the Texas Diggersby man has pitched in 7 2/3 innings, so he's been pretty busy so far. He's got a 1-0 record. He's only given up 2 hits in those 7 2/3 innings, no runs, 6 strikeouts, and no walks. So yeah, he's been pretty good so far. I don't remember his card being that good, and I don't remember him making that big of a. I guess I just don't remember. It's hard to keep track of all 30 teams, but here he is, Yimi Garcia, coming in for Cole Calhoun, and maybe if I would have checked the stats, I would have brought him in earlier for Hendricks, but here he is again. So this is a 6-5. A 6-5 is a grounder to the shortstop. The shortstop is Lindor. And Lindor is a 1-range shortstop. So a 1-5, and that will be a ground ball A. So Yimi Garcia faces 1, and he's got 1 down. And that will be the 2nd out of the inning. And now Jonathan Lucroy will face the new pitcher, Yimi Garcia. This is a 6-7. A 6-7. This one is hit to second base. A second base X chance. We know that's Addison Russell out there. He's a 2-range second baseman. A 2-9 is going to go to the E rating. He's an E18, and we rolled a 9. E18, and we rolled a 9, and that will be enough to make a good play. So Yimi Garcia comes in and gets 2 quick outs, 2 quick ground outs, and that ends the bottom of the 6th. They do get another run, though, and Minnesota just kind of keeps tacking on one here, one there, and they find themselves up 5-1. The pitcher will be Jose Quintana. He makes another appearance here in the top of the 7th. Looking to get the lefty Kiermaier. Maybe Addison Russell and A.J. Pollock after that. This is a 6-4. That's a grounder to the shortstop. That will be Echeverria. He's a 1-range shortstop, a 1-6. A 1-6 is enough to make the play. Echeverria makes a dive, gets up quickly, and fires over to first base. That's a 6-3 put out for the first out of the inning. Addison Russell now. Addison Russell from the plate. 0 for 2 today. Reached on a 2-base error in the 2nd, but wasn't able to come home and score on that. This is a 4-8, and he strikes out here against the lefty Jose Quintana. That's Addison Russell's 2nd strikeout of the day. And now there's 2 outs. And A.J. Pollock had a rough day so far. 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a fly out. Just looking to try and get on board and do something. This is a 4-10. A 4-10 is a fly ball out to center field. Borges making a run. Will he get there? It's a 12. He's a center field 3. A 3-12, and it's going to go to his error rating, so he's going to make a dive. He is an E8. E8 of 4. He makes a dive and can't come up with it, and that's an error on Borges. So Borges, after seeing his fellow left fielder make a dive and miss, does the same thing, and that will be a 2-base error, and A.J. Pollock finds himself at 2nd on an E8. So, maybe Texas isn't done yet. Francisco Lindor and the rest of the big boys coming up here. There are 2 outs. It's the top of the 7th. But maybe Lindor and that error can get something going for Texas in this offense. So it's a 6-9 against the right-handed hitting, switch-hitting shortstop, and he strikes him out. So not this time. Quintana making a big pitch, and that's his 8th strikeout so far of the day. And none bigger than that one to get out of the 7th and keep Texas off the board. The error by Borges, who's out there for his defense, not his bat at all. He made a big error there, but Quintana able to get him off the hook. So Yimi Garcia will continue against the Minnesota Zweilis in the bottom of the 7th. He's got Echeverria, Burgess, and Cabrera. And here he goes. This is a 6-7. A 6-7 is a grounder to second base. Russell looking to make a play. Russell, I should know this because it feels like we've gotten 20 X chances to Russell. But he's a second base 2. A 2-16. Russell goes down to a knee, snags it, tosses it over to first, and there's 1 out now. And they finally got Echeverria, who was 2 for 2 up to that point. And now 1 out here. Jason Burgess looking to make up for that error. And his manager is not very happy with that error, especially with a big lead. Just give him the single and get out of it. So he's going to get pinch hit for, and it will be the lefty Brock Holt. Brock Holt will be the pinch hitter, and he'll come in and do the center field duties as well. So Brock Holt, the lefty, will face Yimi Garcia. Brock Holt hasn't really played much this season. Let me get you his at-bats. Brock Holt is 3 for 12, has a double, no triples, no homers. He's got a run driven in, 1 strikeout, and 4 walks. So he's had a lot of pinch hit walks. And here he is. This is a 3-10 against the righty Garcia. 3-10, he's going to hit this one to Russell, and that's not a good place to hit it, as we've seen. And that will be the second out. Miguel Cabrera now, the top of the order. He is 1 for 3 today. 1 for 3, and here he is against Garcia. It's a 1-7, and there's a single. The first hit given up by Garcia. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. And the man with the plan, Matt Carpenter, already hit 2 bombs today. Was still wishing that Kyle Hendricks was up on the mound. But now he faces Yimi Garcia. And Yimi Garcia with a 3-8. A 3-8. Oh boy. Did Carpenter do it again? This one's hit deep out to center field. A 1-15. It's a homer. And he smashes another one. That's a 3 home run game. A hat trick for Matt Carpenter, who is just breaking out here with his 3rd home run. A 2-run shot here in the bottom of the 7th. And Minnesota is officially giving it to Texas. That's 5 RBIs for Carpenter. 3 home run game. And blows it open here against the reliever Yimi Garcia, who's been stellar up to this point, having got 4 straight. But a single and then a homer to Matt Carpenter. That happened in the first inning too. A single from Cabrera and a home run for Carpenter. I told you before the game started that combination at the top of the order has been working really well. And here's Arenado with 2 outs. It's a 4-12. This one's hit weakly to Garcia. That was an 8. I lost it there for a second. That's an 8. Garcia is a 3-range pitcher. A 3-8 is going to his E rating. He's an E0, so Garcia able to make the play. A 1-3 putout, and that will end the inning. But not before Minnesota tacks on 2 more, and it's looking likely that they will get the win here. But we will see. We've seen bigger comebacks, and this is now a 2, 4, 6, 7 to 1 ball game. And Yimi Garcia has finally given up a run. And Jose Quintana now against the lefty Hosmer. Not sure how much longer Quintana is going to roll against the left-hander. He's going to try and get him. So Hosmer 0 for 2 with a walk today. And he pitches to the lefty. It's a 6-5, and that's a grounder to the shortstop. That's Echeverria out there. And Echeverria is a 1-range shortstop. A 1-3. And Hosmer barreling up the line, but Echeverria's got a bead on it and throws him out at first. So Ryan Rayburn will now bat. Rayburn is struck out, flied out to right, and has a single against the lefty. And this is a 2-5. A 2-5, and he's got another single. He's aboard again, and that's why he's out there, is to face the lefties. And he's 2 for 4 today. And now it'll be the switch-hitting Ben Zobrist. Zobrist has the lone RBI for Texas. He's 1 for 2. A single, a double, and now he will face the lefty for the 4th time. And it's a 6-6, a 6-6. Oh, this one's hit pretty well. Will it get to the gap? A 1-14, it will. Nope, that's a single. It's a single 2-star, and Rayburn is at third. So Zobrist with his 3rd knock of the day. And the Miguel Montero, the left-handed hitting catcher, will face Quintana. And Quintana, the catcher, Lucroy, going out to talk to him, to visit him on the mound, saying, hey, man, you pretty much only have one more batter here, so get this guy and let's get out of here. So the infield back looking for the double play with the slow-running Montero on the up to bat. It's a 3-7, and he walks him. So he walks, the base is loaded. And it looks like that was enough from Quintana. The manager makes his way out of the dugout, and they're going to go get him. So with Marisnick, Kiermaier, and Russell due up, they're going to bring out Keon Kella. Keon Kella will be the new pitcher. And Keon Kella will get his numbers in just 1 second here. But let's add up the stats for Jose Quintana, who had a sterling start here. It fell apart at the end. He did reach his inning of weakness with that walk. So they're going to the bullpen, and they will bring out the righty, Keon Kella. So Quintana, he went 7 1/3 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. There's still some runs out there, maybe. He struck out 8, and he walked 1. He only walked 2 batters. Let me check the hits again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 hits and 7 1/3. And now Keon Kella will come in to face Jake Marisnick with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Bases loaded, so this could be a big spot for him. Kella comes in after throwing... let me see. Actually, I got the wrong stats here. Kella has thrown 5 1/3 innings, no record, 6 hits, only 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and 4 walks in those innings. So here he is in a big spot against Jake Marisnick. They're going to have the infield back, hoping for the double play, even though Marisnick is a speedy runner. And that's a 2-5, and he walks him. So Kella comes in and walks a batter, and that's an RBI the easy way for Marisnick. And everybody moves up a bag. So that's not what the manager of Minnesota was hoping for. Kella comes in and walks a batter, and it's now a 7-2 ball game. And it'll be Kevin Kiermaier, the lefty, with the bases loaded, 1 out here. Still looking for the double play is Kella. And it's a 3-10. A 3-10. Oh, this one's hit well into the gap. How far will it roll? It's a 13. That's a double. A double to center field. No stars, so we'll see the man Marisnick, who's a speedster, if he can make it all the way home. 2 runs will score. Zobrist in from third. Montero in from second. And Marisnick on his horse, looking at the third base coach. Will he get the go sign? Marisnick is a 1-16 runner. There's 1 out. He wasn't being held, so it's a 1-17. The outfielder is Brock Holt, the new center fielder. Brock Holt is a +1 arm. So it's 16, 17, 1-18 chance. So yes, Marisnick, the speedy Marisnick, is getting the run sign, and he makes it all the way from first. And that is a 3-run triple for Kevin Kiermaier. And now, this game has a lot different feel to it. 4 runs scored here in the 7th so far. There's still only 1 down. And it is a new ball game. It is 7-5. So Jose Quintana, that'll close the book on him. After his sterling start, it doesn't look so anymore. That's 4 runs given up, all of them earned. Kella can't come in and save the day for him. Gave up 3 runs as he hits the door. And now Addison Russell, with a man on second, could keep this thing rolling. Against Kella, it's a 4-5. And a 4-5. Kella strikes out Russell. So Russell having a tough day at the plate. 3 strikeouts now for him. And there's 2 down. Still a man on second. The man is Kevin Kiermaier, who just doubled in 3 runs. And A.J. Pollock will bat against Kella. A.J. Pollock is 0 for 4. But this is a 2-5, and oh, this one looks pretty good too. A 2-5, it will be a triple. A 1 is rolled, a 1-4 roll, and it was a triple. And A.J. Pollock smacks that one right in the right place, and he gets a triple out of it. And that will score Kiermaier from second. And this rally isn't stopping yet. A.J. Pollock with an RBI, and it's a 7-6 ball game. Well, once was a safe lead, is now a 1-run ball game. And I wasn't expecting this one. I don't think anybody was. But Kella's going to have to come out of the ball game. And they're going to go get... the lefty, Tony Watson. So the lefty, Tony Watson, comes in to flip Lindor to the right side, and possibly with Eric Hosmer due up behind him. They're going to get Watson with a man on third and 2 outs. Kella just blows up, and Tony Watson will be the man to try and get an out. Kella went a third of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 2 runs so far. He struck out his only out of the game, and he walked a batter. So Tony Watson now pitches to the shortstop, Francisco Lindor, and yeah, they are going to... I was paused for a second because I was thinking about whether they would walk him or not, but they're not going to put the winning run aboard. They're going to pitch to Lindor, flip him over to the right-hand side with a man on third with 2 down here in the top of the 8th. And this will be a 6-5. A 6-5 is a grounder to short. The shortstop is Echeverria. Echeverria is a good fielder, as we've seen many and many times tonight. This is a 1-6, and he's able to get out of it. Lindor hits it to Echeverria, who makes a diving stop and throws and fires over to first, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. But, 5 runs are scored in the top of the 8th, and now it's only a 1-run ball game, and Minnesota is looking for quick outs on the defensive side and looking for some insurance here in the offensive side. And when I said earlier in the game we were going to save our 1 left-handed pitcher for Texas, just in case they make it close, here it is now. David Murphy, Prince Fielder, Cole Calhoun, all lefties. And Yimi Garcia has kept it, well, he blew up a little bit, but kept it close enough that now we can bring in the 1 left-handed pitcher from the bullpen for Texas. And that is Travis Wood. So we'll get the stat totals for Yimi Garcia here before we get Wood's numbers. So Yimi Garcia today went 1 and 2/3 innings. He gave up only 2 hits, 2 runs, struck out, didn't strike out a batter, and didn't walk anybody. So not as bad as I thought, but that 2-run shot from Carpenter, it stung, and it's the difference in the game so far. Kella, let's look at his numbers real quick. The book is closed on him. He went to the 3rd of an inning, gave up 2 hits. He gave up 2 runs. All right, so here we are, bottom of the 8th. Travis Wood is now the pitcher. Travis Wood for Texas has pitched in 3 innings, no record, has 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. So he's being used as a situational lefty. They've been saving him for these special key moments, and here is one of them. Looking to keep it close for Texas to try and pull closer and tie it in the top of the 9th. But here we are in the bottom of the 8th. 5 runs in for Texas in the top half. Minnesota looking to answer against the lefty Travis Wood and against the lefty David Murphy. This is a fly ball to left field. The left fielder is Marisnik. Marisnik is a 1-range left fielder. He's a good fielder out there. A 110 is going to his E rating, though. He's an E5, and that's a 7. E5 and a 7 is good enough for a nice diving catch, sliding to make the grab, and David Murphy is the first out of the inning. Prince Fielder now, the DH. Prince Fielder has a nice game going. He's 2 for 3 with a single and a homer. And this is a 2-9, and he strikes out against the lefty Wood. And now there's 2 quick down. Travis Wood can feel it. Cole Calhoun, the lefty, and it's a 4-4, and this one's a ground ball to the shortstop. Lindor is a 1-range shortstop, a 115, and that's a nice play from Lindor. He tosses it over to first, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. So Travis Wood does his job, and he gets it to the 9th for Texas. Only down 1 run here now. And can the rally continue in the top of the 9th? Texas will bring up Hosmer, Rayburn, and Zobrist against the lefty. Well, will they let the lefty pitch here, or are they going to get their closer? The closer is David Robertson. David Robertson will be the closer. And, yeah, they're going to go get Robertson. So Watson will come out after facing his man Lindor and getting him. A high-pressure situation. You don't want to extend him too much. So they're going to David Robertson, the closer. Watson went a 1/3 of an inning. Didn't give up anything. And now it's time for David Robertson. David Robertson, a quick look at his stats for Minnesota. And he has only pitched in 1 inning. He's got a save. No runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, and a walk. Hasn't been used very much. They haven't played many close games, has Minnesota. There's a couple guys that have saves. Tony Watson has a save. Brad Bach has a save. And David Robertson has a save. But they're going to David Robertson now. And he will face Eric Hosmer. Eric Hosmer, it's a 3-9, and he grounds this one to the shortstop Echeverria, who's been very busy today, and he makes a nice play, and there's 1 down. So the closer, Robertson, facing, will it be Ryan Rayburn? Ryan Rayburn, the DH, is a righty. doesn't hit righties as well as he does lefties. And they're looking for a big shot. So they've got, look at their bench. So the two guys I'm looking at are Dietrich and Holiday. Dietrich is a lefty, and Holiday is a righty who's got some, I guess he doesn't really have that much pop. So we're going to go get Dietrich. Derek Dietrich will hit for Rayburn. The lefty coming on to spring Rayburn. Derek Dietrich. All right, here he is, Derek Dietrich, the lefty. It's 4-8. 4-8. He walks. I moved that die. It was an 8. That's a walk to the lefty. And now he's aboard. The tying run is aboard at first. And Ben Zobrist. Will they look to pinch run for Derek Dietrich? Nobody has. There's no options to pinch run with. So Dietrich and his 1-12 speed are about as good as we can get. He's an E stealer. So Zobrist, the man at bat, he's a C hitting runner. They're not holding Dietrich. He's an E stealer, so he's not going anywhere. So they're gonna just pitch, and he's gonna swing. This is a 6-7, and he strikes out. So at least he didn't hit into a double play. He just strikes out. They always say, if you're going to hit into a double play, just strike out, right? And now Miguel Montero, it's up to him with 2 down here in the 9th. 1-run ball game, tying run at first, and Derek Dietrich and the lefty Miguel Montero, who's over 3 today, to strike out. And can he be the hero? And here's the pitch. It's a 2-2. This one's a fly ball to center field. The center fielder, Brock Holt, is underneath it. And this is the ball game. Texas gets it close, makes it interesting here in the late innings. But the comeback comes just short. And the home team, Minnesota, with the surprising win to move to 6-6. Minnesota is back to 500, and they're a better ball club. As I said before, they're a better ball club than their record indicates, and maybe they're on the rise. They snapped their modest 2-game losing streak, and Texas, they snap a 3-game winning streak. With maybe they were a little bit riding too much of a high after that win against Oakland last game. But now they move to 8-4, and the logjam atop of the AL gets even thicker because most of those teams are now within a game. You've got Texas, Boston, Seattle, Oakland, Houston, Baltimore. They're all within a game, and then you've got a couple of teams that are right there behind them at 6-6, and now Minnesota moves into that category. So it's been fun to watch. It was a fun game towards the end innings there. Surprising as Minnesota pulls out the win. This is a 6-7 ball game. Travis Wood went 1 inning. Didn't give up any hits. No runs. Struck out a batter. Didn't walk anybody. Robertson went an inning. He didn't give up any hits. No runs. He struck out 1 and he walked 1. Quintana gets the win, and the save goes to Robertson. Kyle Hendricks with the loss. That would be Jose Quintana. He moves his record to 1-2. Kyle Hendricks with the loss. And his record will be 1-2. And the save goes to David Robertson. And that's his 2nd save on the season. The hits for Texas: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits. And no errors committed by Texas. Minnesota, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 hits for Minnesota, and they committed 2 big errors, but are able to overcome them. So, if you look at the scorecard, the player of the game, well, if I'm the player of the game voter, the chief and the justice, I'm going to vote for Matt Carpenter. I mean, how could you not? 3 home runs. Did strike out once. Kyle Hendricks thought he had his number for the rest of the game, but no. Hit 2 off Hendricks, 1 off Garcia. 5 driven in. Cabrera, ahead of him, scored twice with 2 singles. But Matt Carpenter, the player of the game here. And that'll be it for this ball game. So, I'm much appreciative of you guys showing up. I've had quite a few people here in the stream. I'm looking at the numbers, and I just want to say thank you to all of you that are watching it here live. All of you that are going to watch it on YouTube later on, I'm appreciative of you guys too. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and you subscribe to the channel. And go follow me on Twitter at RNGIDP_Strat. I'm going to post this scorecard in just here in a minute. And you can go check it out even further if you want to check it. And you can see all the information for the league. Ask me questions about what I'm doing here and why I'm doing it. But that will do it for me. Enough of the sports for me today. Off to bed. But I thank you for being here, and have a good night.